Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trendy with Kim Allison. I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet because, to be honest, I recorded a whole episode and I was popping off because I have a different opinion than some who are talking about the Labubu online. But before I get into all of that, I want to welcome you to the channel. If your little fingers have blessed me with that press of that subscribe button, I appreciate you. I encourage you to subscribe to this series because you're going to learn a lot about K beauty, which is all the things that I experienced while I was there. I named this mini series Soul Chasing Beauty, and it has 5 episodes. You guys, the first episode is already out where I interviewed a Korean K perm specialist because that's trending, the digital perm. So you can watch that now. I don't know what happened to my screen. I hope I'm still on. It went doop, doop. And then episode 2 is going to be today, the Labubu Craze. Episode 3 will be me and an Esty bestie. We're going to break down the myriad of skincare products, mask in particular, that I brought back from Korea that I have no idea what to do with, that maybe you guys can purchase on Amazon or what have you. This chin strap thing I got, all kinds of stuff. And then episode 4 and 5 will be with my amazing family because the three of us, my stepdaughter, me, my husband, we were in Korea together, and between the three of us, we experienced K medical, meaning medical tourism, which a lot of US citizens are going to other countries to seek medical treatments. So we're going to talk about all of that stuff. And for me, I'll also disclose the reason why I'm doing the treatment. And I swear, this hat, I probably need to retire it. This is ridiculous. It's so old and grungy. You guys are probably so sick of seeing this hat, but I washed it and now it's all out of shape. And then lastly, did I talk about episode 5? I talked about episode 4. So yes, episode 5 is going to be the skin treatments, more of the beauty piece, the K beauty, the Uthera, some of the skin treatment services that we did. Okay, so but today is about these little guys back here, and this one especially, the monster. Those are, I bought them for my friends, so I'm going to be gifting those away. I had more, but I've gifted them away. This one, this energy one, is for my friend's niece. And this one, you guys, this one, the blind box, this is the unopened one. And it's a collaboration between Labubu and Coca-Cola. So you have this blind box situation that we're going to be talking about. And I don't know, you guys, I may give this one away. I'm really thinking I'm going to do that. Either, I don't know, you're going to have to let me know. Do I keep it? Do I pull it on camera, like unbox it? Or do I give it to you? We'll see, right? I'm going to, on episode 5, I'm going to make my decision. So we'll see then. And then if you've followed me at all, you know this little guy is my personal Labubu. And yes, he has clothes. He's non-binary. He dresses like a boy sometimes. I call him he, but sometimes I put him in more feminine clothing. I don't know. I don't know if they're a gender. So today he's looking like a he, she, maybe it looks like a she, right? I don't know. But he's cute. So yeah, he's like my little, I don't have a dog. So he's my emotional support, my service animal. Anyway, so you guys, let's get into this Labubu craze. Today, we are going to talk about, and I brought my notes today because there is so much to unpack. What I've learned since I've been back about how Labubu, the trend, has taken a turn to the dark side. Yes, it has been linked to a demonic, mythical creature. So we're going to get into that. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because this show is about fun. It's about trends. and I want to kind of keep it on the lighter side while also stating my point. But today I'm gonna tell you all about what a Labubu is. I'm going to tell you who created the Labubu. I'm going to tell you who sells the Labubu. I'm going to tell you why there's such a frenzy behind the Labubu. I'm going to talk a little bit about Asian culture because I spent a month there. So I know firsthand. It's not something I've read. It's not something I've heard from someone else. It's something that I actually experienced myself, especially if we're talking about energy and spirits. I am going to tell you how to spot a fake. And we're going to talk about where Pop Mart stores are popping up and just the whole culture. This is a whole world of luxury stuffed animals and illustrators, artists, designers, and creating, fairy tales and fantasies and just using their imaginations. It's quite the world, I can say, and I don't want to miss anything. And I think that is pretty much what I'm going to cover. And then the last thing I'm going to do, obviously, is the dark side, y'all, because everything has a dark side. And then we'll wrap it up. Alrighty. So Miss Ramboline here. We'll see how fast I can get through this because y'all know, come on, y'all know I can ramble. And I think that's because I'm trying to think of the next thing as I'm saying the first thing and blah 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 blah. So let's talk about what a Labubu is. Alrighty. So there's a few different series. Like I say, it's a collection of luxury designer plushies, they call them, stuffed animals, whatever you want to call them. And they're these little mischievous little vinyl characters with sharp teeth, as you can see, big ears and wide eyes. And this particular series right here, that's known as the Monster series. The one I got, this is the Hehe series. That one back there is the one that I may give away. This one is also a part of the Monster series, but it's a special collaboration with Coca Cola, hence the red and white. This one that my friend wanted me to grab for her niece, that one is a part of the Energy series, which a lot of young kids like that particular series. So those are the ones that I happen to have in my possession, but there's a world, you guys, there's so much more, so much more. So let's get into who created the Labubu. So the Labubu was created by a designer named Kasing Lung. And Kasing Lung, he used to be a children's book illustrator. So, and I feel like I remember that correctly, but if I don't, I'm so sorry, Kasing Young. But I believe he was involved in children's books and illustration. He's an illustrator, obviously. So he sketched out, and I will show you his original sketch. So this is his original sketch, and I believe he came up with the monsters in 2015, and then Pop Mart collaborated with them, brought it into the store, turned them into stuffed animals in 2019. And so some of the conspiracy, the dark side of this is that because he was inspired by the folklore, then that ties him to the Razuzu, which then creates this whole rabbit hole. I don't want to put that ugly thing up here because they're calling these ugly. That thing is uglier, but they put them side by side. The worst, the most powerful demonic mythical character there is, this Razuzu thing. They compared and there were similarities, right? So there's where all of that started. And we'll get to that later on. But I wanted to first talk about who he is. He's a creator. He's, got a wild imagination, and he used the folklore mythical world, that fairy tale fantasy land, to create some of these with his own imagination attached, right? He made it his own, but that was his inspiration. Okay. Doesn't mean it's demonic. Okay. Because folklore and Satanism, those are two different things. I was in Asia. I experienced peace, kindness, balance. And it's also important to note Buddhism is widespread throughout Asia. So it doesn't even have the same framework of good versus evil like we have in Christianity. So to attach part of your religious beliefs, philosophy, there's almost like a miss there. We're talking about two very different worlds. And Buddhism, I don't believe that's a world where they're conjuring up spirits and worshiping darkness. To me, I felt the exact opposite when I was in Japan. So, yeah, we all believe something different and we're allowed to do that. God, not man, he gave us discernment, and you can discern for yourself anything you want in this world. And even against him, he says, you have free will. You don't even have to believe in me. There are people screaming at the screen right now saying, Kim, stop talking about God. There is no God, right? That's how free you are to think whatever you want to think. And you can conspiracize. And I know, again, I said I wasn't going to go down that rabbit hole. And let me reel myself back in because I could go on, literally on and on. I just think that when you're associating characters with Satan, that's a very powerful accusation that you're making. And I don't think it's fair. It's not fair because it creates this narrative that you really don't know 100% to be true. And the backlash is placed upon this artist who's just an artist, an illustrator, and this company, Pop Mart, and it could be dangerous. People are crazy in the world. So it's just like you put that out there and it's out there and it grows legs because that's what a trend is. Trends, they start as a whisper, they turn into a roar, like, and then they start a frenzy. Whether it's about a pair of shoes, conspiracies, the president. I mean, that's what a trend is. So it's a very powerful tool. And I would implore you to find peace within yourself, pray. If this doll right here is causing you angst, don't buy it. That's what I say. So again, circle in the wagon, circle in the wagon. So let's talk about who sells Labubu. So who sells Labubu is Pop Mart. And Pop Mart is a Beijing company. The founder of Pop Mart, his name is Wang Ning, who's now a billionaire thanks to all the frenzy around Labubu. There are other artists that he works with, but here's what's cool. He took the geisha culture in Japan, and I saw it firsthand. I'm going to show you guys something before I go into this, but he took that along with the blind box culture and combined them into one. So the geisha culture, which is here, show you see those vending machines. Let me go back to them. See them right there? Those things are, it's a vending machine full of stuffed animals where you put a coin in, you twist, and it comes out. You don't know what you're going to get. So instead of cheap plastic toys, he created these plushies, these IPs from original designers. They're not made from cartoon characters or commercial, franchises like Marvel and things like that. Each creator, each stuffed animal collection is an artist, almost like if you're in an art museum and you have this artist that, you know, paints their imagination on a canvas. Well, these turn into toys. The Pop Mart founder found a way to make this more of a luxury, I hate that word, designer experience. And I hate that word because my client told me the other day to hate that word. And now I hate that word, luxury. But now he's turned it into art. So these illustrators, if he collaborates with you, he'll take your story, your world that you've created, right? And turn them into stuffed animals, plushies, and give them all names and give them all designs and packaging and surprise. And he created this blind box frenzy which I'm going to read verbatim what the blind box frenzy is or what it means. The blind box is a sealed package like this one, like that one, that hides a collectible toy inside. And the catch, you don't know which one you're getting until you open it. It's like grown up Pokemon cards meets designer toy culture. So, when you get these blind boxes, your goal is to create the universe, your whole world of these plushies or whichever designer's creation you've decided to fall in love with. So, you can have a pink one already, but your blind box, you want it to be the yellow one or the blue one or whichever one you're missing. And then you open it and it's another pink one. And who made it popular and where it came on my radar was this Korean pop star, this group called Blackpink, and her name is Lisa. She just became obsessed with Labubu, so people started making her clothes for her Labubus, and she started doing unboxings on her channel. And you can see here she has a little Labubu on her skirt and she's dressed like a Labubu. So she's the one that took it to the next level that made it blow up. So Labubu now makes up 35% of Pop Mart's revenue, which makes this one their most successful collaboration so far. Although there are others. There's Skull Panda, there's Pucky, Molly, and they were popular, but they didn't reach this level, this height. This pop artist, again, she just blew the roof off of it because Korean culture is so popular right now, and she happens to be a Korean pop star. So that's pretty cool, right? So that is who sells Labubus, and that is the whole origin story of the Labubu. And now we have this whole culture, this whole world that Pop Mart has created for their patrons. It's all over the world, and they're Labubu Pop Mart, not Labubu. You got to separate Labubu from Pop Mart. Pop Mart is its own entity, collaborated with the artist who created Labubu, and that kid, I believe Labubu artist, Kasing Lung, when you look at him, he looks older than the founder of Pop Mart. And the founder of Pop Mart, he was born in 1987. So I'm like, oh my God, that means he's only like 38 years old because my son was born in 1986. So I know, which is crazy. So back to that conspiracy that it's created to, that it's a demonic figure. It's like, wow, what a happenstance that someone older than the founder of Pop Mart could draw using his imagination, being inspired by folklore, this character, create a series. 4 years later, the Pop Mart company reaches out to him, and then the pop star makes it go viral. And now it is intentionally made to put evil spirits in your life. Okay, sure. We'll go with that. So, as you know, with success comes the fakes. Oh my days. So here's how you spot a fake. And I wouldn't have known this had it not been for my Gen Z stepdaughter. I keep calling her stepdaughter, but she's really my daughter. Her name is Taylor. So Taylor, she showed me how to know that your Labubu is real. And one way, in case you get a resale, in case somebody, like, say for example, I give you my blind box and my unboxed, and I say, you guys, here's your free Labubu because you subscribed and you tagged 10 people or whatever I'm going to do to up the ante. So, right here is a barcode. Yeah. Like a QR code, not a barcode, a QR code. And you scan that with your phone. All right. And then on your phone, and I'll put the website in the link. So when you scan that with your phone, it directs you to a website. If that website is not the Pop Mart's official website, then right then and there, you know it's a fake, right? Once you get on that website, there's another piece to it. So this right here, you scratch that off, and I believe the number, you put that number in the website, and then it gives you a green check. So that's how you know that you have an actual authentic Labubu. Ooh, look at me not looking and putting it back and it not falling on the ground. Okay, Kim, go girl. All right, so that's one, and maybe let me make sure I have everything. Holographic seal. So you look at that silver Pop Mart hologram sticker on there, and it says it's often placed on the bottom side of the box. Is that it? It's often placed on the bottom or side of the box. Oh, I think it's the one I just showed you guys. Yeah, I think it's this. Should shimmer and shift colors in light. See it shifting colors? It was green. Wait, it was green. See, it was pink. See that? All that. Okay. So that's a real one. Of course, it's a real one. I got it. I know where I got it. And then you've got to have the official labeling. Make sure the box includes the Pop Mart logo, the artist's name, in this case, Kasing Lung, and the character or series name. Right? And so this is all, you guys, in Korean, but I am assuming yeah, that we're gonna go with it's good. Again, I know where I bought it, so it's fine. But if you out there happen to get it secondhand, that should help you out. And the other thing, so the real figures, they have clean, detailed paintwork. So let me show you my little guy. Clean, detailed, I guess I'll take his hat off. Clean, detailed paintwork. So he does. I mean, he's been on my purse, so maybe he might be dirty. I don't know. And they also, you guys, they have 9 teeth. Let me see if I can count backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They got to have 9 teeth. 9 teeth. That's another telltale sign. Let's see if this one has 9 teeth. Yes, he does. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 teeth. All right. So that's another indicator. Make sure of that. They may feel lighter, softer, waxier if they're fake. Sometimes when they're fake, these things feel more plasticky. This feels more like vinyl, but if it's too light, this actually has weight to it and texture. So you can tell the difference. And also, all real Pop Mart figures include a QR code inside the box as well. Correct. Scan it to verify your toy directly with Pop Mart, like I said, and etc., etc. All right, so there you go. And the last thing, if the price seems too good to be true, it probably is. They run about $60 to $100, and if you buy the whole collection, it could be so much more. Right? There's one, the box of monsters, which I did buy for all of my girlfriends who wanted Labubus, but I had to because I had a carry on, y'all. I didn't know, and I didn't even know about the blind box stuff. I honestly didn't. I was just chasing the trend. I was over there. I didn't do a lot of homework on it, and it wasn't until I got there that I realized that these are collectibles. So keeping them in the box, the packaging, all the things matters, but I didn't do that because that box was like ginormous. So I broke it down, took them all out of their things so they could fit in my carry-on. I know, horrible, but we're old, so I don't know if we care too much about that. And the stores, you guys, they have made it to the US. We have them in California, heavily in the Bay Area, and I believe I have the map for you guys. Here's the map for you guys. This is where all the stores are located. And boy, Pop Mart, he is just having a ball with this because they have these robo vending machines. I think it's not just Labubus, but they put them in malls. You may have seen them in your mall or at the airport. They put them places, right? Like kind of like Kylie Jenner does with her lipstick and her skincare or her makeup products. And apparently, I'm in Arizona. There's one somewhere here in Arizona, but they do this thing where if you go to popmart.com to their website site and you go to store locator, they'll those are off, some are off grid. So the true treasure hunters, the people who are collectible or collectors and who are just immersed in this Pop Mart world, they go on these like treasure hunts really just to see where the mystery Labubu machine is. So I think that's kind of fun, right? It's fun. And so, speaking of no fun, let's get into the dark side of Labubu. So it started again, like I said in the beginning, with the client bringing it to my attention that this little guy is demonic. All right. So I thought, what makes something demonic? So I am not one that just takes somebody's word for something. I do my own homework always, always, always when it comes to anything, because I happen to be a US citizen living here in a world of division where you have to pick a side. I never pick a side. I'm on my side. And if I think this is right, I go that way. If I think that's right, I go that way. If it makes sense, it makes sense. That's I'm an independent thinker. All righty? Cuz to me when you're not, you're in a cult and I refuse. So, I had to write this out because I didn't want to miss one thought when I say this. So I know, like I said earlier, all of the um, YouTubers and some social media content creators all over social shouting to the rooftops that the Labubu is demonic, even claims that, you bought the doll home and you felt evilness, you felt paranormal activity in your life because of the doll. You have a right to feel whatever is in your life, in your heart, your spirit, your home. Who am I to say it's true or not true? I'm not here to change your mind. I'm not here to change anybody's mind. But I do want to just kind of read what came to my mind onto this paper, which is getting ready to go onto this screen. As a Christian, I know there are clear lines when it comes to what I spiritually align myself with. But there's a big difference between a toy made by a Hong Kong artist and an actual occult object used in spiritual practice. And those objects have been anointed with evil for the sole purpose of, you know, jumping into your spirit, if you will. I've seen claims that the Labubu and the monsters are evil just because they look weird or were inspired by folklore. But folklore isn't the same as satanic worship. And do the research. See for yourself. Don't take my word for it. And unless someone is actively using that toy for occult purposes, it's a toy, right? That's the way I see it. I saw it that way since I've had it since Thailand. It was a toy then. It was a toy on the airplane. It was a toy in my bag, on my purse, on my luggage at the salon. It's still a toy. This is a toy. This is a toy. This one, they're all toys to me to this day. And I watched the YouTube videos my client sent. I heard the sentiment. I respect that that's your opinion and your belief. I truly do. But again, you can believe what you can believe or what you want to believe, and I can believe what I want to believe based on my own personal relationship with God. We all have our personal relationship with God, right? So in Christianity, or at least at my church, in the way we teach, which is biblical Christianity, we know that power isn't in this object. This object right here, to me, this is empty. It's literally full of foam or stuffing. It's not in this object. It's in the intention. when making this object. And my attention is joy, curiosity, and sharing global culture. Okay? If something doesn't sit well or sit right with you in your spirit, honor that. I mean, we all should, but don't let that fear of something you don't understand make you demonize it just because you don't understand. And there are people out there that tell me, I have friends that do this, like, "Oh my god, how old are you? And what is I don't even get it. What is this ugly toy? Like, I don't even understand it, blah, blah, blah." And I don't understand why people who have 10, 15 pounds to lose take weight loss shots. I don't understand it. And it used to bother me until somebody said to me, it was one of my friends, like, "Why do you care?" And I'm like, "You're right. Why do I care? I'm not taking weight loss drugs, putting being skinny first over my health." There are some people who really need it, who put health first and happen to lose the weight, but there's a lot of people who aren't doing it. I'm telling you guys, I was mad, right? I get it. When we don't understand something, we want to just vilify it. We want to demonize it, especially if it looks like a monster, right? It has these teeth and these big eyes. So therefore, it means this because it resembles something, even if it's just inspired with no attachment to it. Because for analogy purposes, I can give you something. Okay, let's take it back here to the United States. We're not in Asia anymore. We're not at Pop Mart. We're not Kasing Lung with his pen and pad, his pencil and pad. We're here. We're Mattel. 60 years ago, I don't know, when was the Ken doll created? So they create this Ken doll. They sell it to all of us. We all buy it, even if we're black. We have a white Ken doll as a black boy. We have a white Barbie doll as a black girl, right? So that's neither here nor there. But if we're talking about symbolism and we're talking about hidden meanings and what we attach ourselves to, all right, that Ken doll, you can put, I can, because I'm a true crime junkie, I can put probably, I don't know how many serial killers' faces right next to that Ken doll. And I don't know. What does that mean? Is that the same thing? Was it meant to put an evil spirit in my life, in my household? Because they kill people. Is that not demonic? I don't know. I mean, I can make a case for anything I want, and so can you, and that's fine. But I'm going to continue having fun with this trend, you guys. The Labubu. I hope that you learned something in this episode. And stay tuned for episode 3, 4, 5 as I conclude. And in episode 5, depending on what the perimeters are, you guys, that is the day I'm going to announce if I'm going to give this away to you. I'm gonna pull it on screen or if I'm just gonna keep it in the box as a collectible. I have no idea yet, but let me know in the comments what you think I should do. All righty, you guys, because maybe you don't care. Maybe you're like, "Ooh, that ugly thing. I don't want that ugly thing," right? Whatever. So tune in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. And I will see you guys on episode 3 with my SD bestie as we break down K skincare. All right, you guys. Bye.